Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Fog. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book. Well, guess what, right thinkers? We got 60 pages left, and we done with this book. So by the end of the month, we right on schedule. Let's do what we do. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and too. My yacht, be true. We rocking now. And religious people, I got it continue till I get done because I got one more page of information. Right now, I'm going to give you 3 stages of religious practice. If done correct, it takes you to the next level, which is what right thinking philosophy and what gets you to God. So let's talk about right thinking. Let's talk about the religious rituals, mythologies of various cultures. Metaphysical level is the highest religious level. That's where you have your mystical experience, your anointing. But it's all predicated on you putting the work in to get there. Here's a little, wait, see here, 3 levels. The myth, the ritual, the happening. They put it this way. I'm reading it from the bottom up so you get a better understanding. Hopefully, I'm showing you from the bottom to the top. This is what's supposed to happen, and you get the same result if you practice right thinking philosophy. That's how I know religion works if it's done correctly. Watch this. The religious mythologies of various cultures breaks down like this. The story, the myth. Everybody knows the story and the creation. I tell the creation story every chance I get, which we use different names, different forms, pictures, representations of what? To show the divine either in the human or zoomorphic symbolic forms. When you see Ra, you don't see Ra the man. You see a falcon-headed man. Body, bad, falcon head. Okay. Haru, he only have a human head when he's a child, suckling his mother's breast, or when he's the young prince with the side lock. Other than that, he has the falcon head. Zoomorphic form. Okay. They show you that so we understand that. And the next level, the religious rituals and the traditions that you practice. Study, and study. Once you study, you start implementing what you're learning to see if what you're learning is what it is. That's how you manifest your thoughts, your understanding, and things that you're learning about yourself. Your commemorative exercises relates to what? The myth. Learn the myth. Understand the myth. The myth which will lead your mind to now contemplate, meditate, ponder, think about the divine, God. These are things that religion is supposed to get you to do. And if you follow it, that's what it will do. If you put the work in at the second level, master the myth, practice the rituals, and exercise it in your daily life, something will happen. The Kundalini serpent will wake up. And then the third level is called the metaphysical, the mystical level, the mystical experience. Yeah, you become conscious. You be anointed in the head. Excuse me. The 7 chakras is inside the body. And the only thing to activate to make the serpent go is righteous living. How about that? Make it real simple. I ain't got to beat around the bush. I'm trying to get to the point. But the understanding of what we call the supreme being have to be understood as what we call transcendent of what? All names and forms. He represents the source of all objects and people and objects of all venerations. At this level, the highest level religiously, there is now what you call your personal experience, aka the anointing, the knowing, the conscious, the waking up, whatever you want to call it, the enlightenment of who? The divine. You have knowledge of God. That's the purpose of religion, to get its followers to God. And then you can live and do anything you want. All my church family, love them. We all come to church together on Sunday, but we go separate ways, but we live what? The right way on our own time. That's what makes it work. And they practice it to a T. I'm with them 100%. That's why I know about religion. If you ask my church family, I'm a Christian. Good one too. Okay, yeah, they vouch for me, so I ain't got a problem with that. See, I'm not perpetrating. I'm just going with the flow. I understand what they're doing. Out of respect, I have a yoga philosophy that I follow, practice, a little different, but it's the same goal. What? To get to God. That's my point. And from a yoga view of God, the transcendent of gender, male and female, and the transcendent of name and form. Again, same attributes, while at the same time encompassing all names and forms. Gotta tell you, I go by my names. Everybody call me something different. It's cool. But they all know my true attributes. That's what made God God, not the names that you call him by. But as stated in the Egyptian yoga, my first book, The Philosophy of Enlightenment, the danger which many religions have fallen victim, here you go, now, it's not my words, I'm giving it to you from the book, have fallen victim to what? The personification of the idea of supreme being. I gave you a lesson where we humanize God. We made God man. God ain't man. We see God as a human. We see God, no. Again, our view don't mean it's true or right. We got the wrong view. We got to admit when you're wrong. If you believe something, that means you don't know. Once you go to the fact of finding proof and evidence and knowing, you no longer believe it. You either know or you was wrong about what you believe. Your decision now to do what you think is best for you. Moving on. I just gave you the opportunity to do that. Moving on. And watch this. This personification of in many religions has given people the concrete image of a divine, which many have come to believe is the true or correct actual name or form of God. We humanize God. I got a problem with that. Why? Because that's just wrong. That's why. But, God's a woman, God's a man. No, yeah, neither one. Oh, but again, I'm not going to argue with you, okay? But when you get knowledge of self and God, when you have total understanding, and when understood incorrectly of philosophy, this is concretized. That word that just kills me. But it means to make something out of nothing. Y'all taking the Bible, a mythological book, rational book, an allegorical book, and making it literal. That's just wrong. That's what this is saying. Y'all have this concretized view which serves to focus the mind on the symbol itself while ignoring what? The transcendental idea behind the symbol. Y'all use the cross. The cross is a death sentence. I don't have a clue why y'all would use that. And then you put Jesus on it. Wow, that's crazy. But in a strict sense, any veneration of a picture, a symbol of the divine as itself being God is idolatry. That right there. We know that the stick, the staff that we represent matter. Okay? We made a stick in a different color. We mummified the body to signify God going back to the nature. But we knew the idea and the concept wasn't the mummy. Okay, we didn't make God human. We gave concepts, mythology stories to put God in human form. We did that all the time. The triplified concept. But idolatry is representing, like the Christians. Y'all love that cross. That's pretty much on the border of idolatry. And that means the belief that the appearance of the divine is known through a particular image is the true definition of what? Idolatry. Why? Because the divine being all that exists, all encompassing, all appearances, that which supports them, and therefore that which transcends them as well. The word idolatry is defined as the worship of idols. Again, idol worshiping is thinking the idol is God. We didn't have that problem in Egypt. Okay? Blind admiration or devotion to what? A superstition or a perceived God that y'all gave. Okay? Yeah. Knock yourself out. That's idolatry. Simple as that. The golden calf, all that. Yeah, we remember all that. Okay? But mystical philosophy, that means the hidden mystery, demands that the image of God be seen as an outer symbol, which is only for use to what? Help the human mind until it is truly ready to transcend the symbol itself. Again, this is why there are so many symbols of the divine in ancient Egyptian and Indian religions, the iconographs. Each symbol and myth carries with it a different aspect or view and esoteric teaching of the divine. We try to get you to know God in every way possible, in the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. And they was real proficient at it and real good at it. They put the truth in plain sight. But it only going to be recognized for those who can recognize what? The signs and the symbols, the esoteric meaning. I'm a Mason. I know what the Masons do. Okay? When you're part of something, you got the inside understanding. God is the same way. Find somebody who can teach you how to know God, how to see the symbols, and recognize them for yourself, and go about your business. I'm a Mason. I learned that years ago. They take an ugly rock, called a rough ashlar, and you take it, it's crude, it's ignorant, it don't know nothing, and it don't look like crap. But if you take and polish that thing up, shine it up, and square it around, make it, all of a sudden, everybody want to look at it because it looks good. That's what Masonic people were trying to teach you how to transform from being just a rough ashlar. I take it as being ignorant and becoming enlightened. Same philosophy, just different terminology, and I know them both. That's why I can use it that way, interchangeable, and I like that. But this, all the whole idea is to help you, what the aspirant, the right thinker, to better understand the nature of the divine. However, if the images themselves are worship, you're worshiping the wrong thing again. As the actual divine things or actual images of the divine, if the worshiper believes this is the way God appears in reality and has no regard for the deeper mystical meaning for any other symbols from other cultures, I'm the right one. Ain't nobody else is wrong. I got the high God. All that nonsense, okay? Ego. Then this form of practice is to be considered, you ready? An intensified form of idolatry at the highest level. If you think your way is the only way, that's the highest form of idolatry. Respect other people's right to think and do as they feel and choose. That's all. If your way works for you, that's all you can vouch for. I ain't trying to make everybody right think. I don't give a damn if they become. I'm just trying to get those who want to be to understand that this is what you need to do to be one. That's all. Moving on. But in order for one to truly experience their own what? Oneness with the divine. That's the goal for me, for my right thinkers. Have your own. Have your own. That's have your own. You will now need to transform and transcend what your previous ideas that God is an entity who exists somewhere separate from you in some part of the universe. Religion takes God out of man. Philosophically, we teach that God is in man. Man is God in the flesh. Just don't know who he is. That's why you give me knowledge to educate you on what? Yourself. Self-knowledge is only the best knowledge you can acquire. Why? That's what you need to pass the next level, experiencing human experience in this form as a human being. Spiritual beings having human experience. Your goal is to pass this test. If not, you'll be back. Like going to school. If you don't pass that grade, you can't go to the next grade. In masonry, I'm not going to give you the second degree if you didn't pass the first degree. And you sure ain't going to get the third degree if you ain't passed the second degree. You also need to transcend the idea that God has one particular name. Again, many names, myriad names. One religion, many religions, myriad religions, and one form. Just wrong. All those are just wrong. This idea is given to the novices on the spiritual path in order to engender in them what? The sense and understanding that there's something beyond the mundane world of time and space, aka human existence. This is just a temporary phase. What is it for? God damn it, to learn thyself so your spirit can go back to its maker. God, home, heaven, whatever you want to call it. But to just keep recycling, the spirit don't care. That's what it does. It's just here. Consciousness comes and goes. Why you get it fresh whenever you go out? You get a fresh new conscious, fresh batch of ideas, concepts. This thing in our head, the brain, the mind, is the most sophisticated piece of machinery known to man, is given to us by our Creator, connected with the spirit for us to what? Connected to get back to Him. That's just my philosophy. Don't quote me on that one, but that's the concept. However, you must be able to transcend yourself and become what? One in advance advanced knowledge of self in order for that mystical experience to happen. You have to study. You have to put the time in. You have to implement it. In order for it to work, you got to put the work in. I've been telling you that for years, and that's what it said. Even in religion, you got to do the same thing. I know that too. My feet just going crazy. I love it when I'm getting my point across. Hopefully somebody's understanding this and appreciating it for what it is. Good information. So the universe is composed of varying degrees of subtle and gross elements. We talked about that from the beginning, from the subtle to the heaviest, from the light to the heaviest. All right. That which is subtle permeates what is gross. From spirit to matter, we fall down in density, okay? The mind and the sense permeates what? The body. This thing controls this. This thing controls this. Understand that. And your body and your mind are in reality permeated by what? The spirit that's within it. Come on now, you see where we're going. When the spirit, which permeates his life, and the consciousness that's what understand, obtain knowledge, and gnosis, you put them together, you become God. You know who you are. That's the concept. So God, the spirit, again, we know that, is only a spirit, not only all around you, interpreting all things, it's going to be impenetrating all things, but God is your ultimate reality, which lies beyond your body. The physical body goes stay right here. And those who don't get enlightened stay right here too. Your feelings, your senses, your perceptions, and your thoughts have to be in line as one. Everything is on the. Got it? Now take it home. That one is, again, Supreme Being, God, and the Virgin, whatever you want to call it, the Absolute. The Supreme Being is the one that's beyond, okay, understand this again, classification, beyond comprehension and understanding of the human mind. But you must train your mind to at least follow what we call logic and reasoning of yoga philosophy, aka right thinking, because it will lead you to how what? Understand the true essence of the divine, aka God, at an indirect level. We teach you to understand it. But when you practice what we're teaching you, you will have your own personal experience through symbols and understanding the esoteric teachings, and then now you will be able to have personal experience of the divine at a transcendental level from what? Knowledge obtained and practice, and you will have that mystical experience. We can't name it because it's a mystical. It's a mystery to everybody other than those who actually experience it. That's a mouthful. Taking it home now, I'm wrapping it up. Right thinking philosophy is a yoga and a mystical philosophy, again, based on principles that will provide a positive model for you. 1 second, sis, 1 second. That outlines the model for you. Looking at a map is not the same as what? Actually going on the trip to the place, which is on the map. Outline referring the experiences. However, the map is very useful to help you arrive at your proper destination, God. Symbols are like the maps, which can lead you to your own experience, your spiritual realization. They should not be understood as absolute realities, just aspects that will get you to that reality with knowing thyself. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Right thing, because I got to go. And in closing, may you all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I know that my right thinkers who now understand the highest level of religion have passed away. Be right back.